Hi, Mega. How are you doing
Hi,
today?
I'm doing a lot better.
You're doing good?
I'm doing great.
So, the last time we left off, we were going over some of the events that you went through
Yes.
with suffering from PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know where you're at right now.
The holidays has been rough. It's been a little hard, but I'm not as bad as I was before.
What's been rough about it?
Not having my dad here. Basically just not having him around to celebrate, because certain holidays was very special. Plus it was his birthday for Thanksgiving too. So it all fell in the same time. But we went to my mom's for the first time since Dad made transition, and I got back from Iraq. We had Thanksgiving at her house, and she had a lot of the stuff up I had sent her from Iraq. So it was like, oh my God, you know. I was like, because I never thought that she was even proud of the fact of me even being in the military. She never expressed it.
Okay.
I was very close to my dad.
So was it nice to see your mom and see how
Yeah.
how much she's actually been
Yeah.
watching you and,
Yes.
and proud of you?
Yeah.
In a very subtle way.
Yes, it was very nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was like my siblings came in and they were like, oh my God, you're in Mom's house. You know, because it's been years since I've been in her house.
Is there conflict between you and your mother?
I wasn't raised by my mom.
Oh, okay.
No.
Gotcha.
So we never had that daughter bond.
Okay.
And when she married the second time with my stepdad, they were together for 30 some odd years. I think it was 36 or 32, somewhere around there. My dad was her first husband.
Okay.
She got married.
So do you feel it's like one door closed and another door open?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a relationship can build now since?
I'm trying. But I have zero tolerance. And she's 73, so it makes it a little difficult sometimes. But I'm trying. I'm trying because, you know, she is my mom.
So there's like a lack of patience for all
Right.
the resentments that you have.
And I've told her.
Okay.
I've told her, you know, the things, how she made me feel as a daughter, how she made a difference between me and my siblings. There's 6 years between me and the next sibling. So, you know, and I look just like her first husband. I look just like my dad.
Yeah.
Split an image of it. I remember one time I went up to her house, and that's what made me stop going. I went up there, and I had on my hat from Iraq that I gave my dad. And I pulled my hair back in a ponytail, and I had on a sweatsuit that I gave my dad. Not realizing, you know, and I walked in, and I walked in the house, and she screamed and threw me out. Told me to get out. My sisters then ran, because they thought I was a ghost. I looked that much like my dad.
Wow.
Because I had my hair back, I had the hat on, and my dad we was about the same height, and I was thin, and you couldn't really tell, and I scared everybody in my family.
Did it end the divorce between your parents? Was it a bitter divorce? Is there?
No.
No, it wasn't.
They got married young.
Oh, okay.
She was 17.
Oh, wow.
And he was 19.
That's
so
really.
I kind of understand. I understand.
Okay. I was just wondering if, because you look so much like your mom, if that was a reason why
So much like my dad.
Yeah, that there's resentment against you from your mother's side.
Yeah,
You know?
I believe that.
Okay, well.
Even while I was fighting overseas, you know, very rarely did they write or anything. I heard from my dad a lot and that side of the family. And the chance I did try to reach out to them, I did, you know. And last time I called them, I think we were in the middle of a firefight over there, and they heard all of the noise and the bombs and everything, and I had to hang up the phone right away. Then I didn't call them for 2 weeks. So they didn't know what had happened. And so it did. Mm-hmm. My grandson, he had a bad time because they had me on the speakerphone, so everybody heard it.
That's intense.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. Now, when you say firefight, was it like you were fighting a fire, or was it?
No, it was
like
fire. They were bombing us. Bombing the area that we were in.
Wow.
And then an IED had went off and blew up, and we had to go out and handle all of that. And it was the same day they blew up the PUK headquarters, they put a bomb out in front and put a big hole in the middle of the street just as, the convoy was going by. That's the type of stuff the insurgents was doing over there. And then that I'm security, I had to go out and all of that. And you never know.
So you were fighting.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what your family had hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably on the edge of their seat for
And
2
then,
weeks.
Right. I didn't call them for 2 weeks. I couldn't. Everything was down. We were hot. It was very hot. And going into that war zone and dealing with all of that and body parts, like you had a room like this that was blown up, and you looked up and it was an arm there and a leg there, and Bomber's face was over there. And I still picture all of that.
Do you get like dreams, like nightmares, like it comes back, like vivid?
Sometimes, yeah. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I try to work on my triggers and work on the stuff that will keep me from going back into that, because it took me a long time to get over the noise of a firecracker, backfiring of a car. When I first came home, I would hit the floor like I was in a war zone.
Do you feel like a sense of like adrenaline just hit you and those noises come back?
Yeah. Dealing with paranoia and all of that, it's very hard. It's very, very hard.
Do you feel like you're always, when you came back, you feel like you have to always look behind your back, kind of like just like you're in war
I'm not as
zone?
bad as I used to be, but yeah. If I see a car behind me too much, I'll make another turn just to see if that car is going to turn that way. And if it turns that way, I'll turn another way, and just to see if it's going to turn. And if it keeps going, then I will go a different route home. Yeah, I go through that. It's rough. I don't like sitting in traffic, because over there, you sat in traffic, they would come and just throw something in your truck. So we had to armor up the vehicles and everything to keep the windows up, and the only thing hung out was your weapon. And to deal with that on a regular basis for a year and some change, it was like, okay. And
you have to put yourself in survival mode. It's a different
You never
mindset,
know.
and then it's hard to come out of.
Right.
You go back to like fairy tale land over here, and it's hard to change back. You have to change who you are to survive over there.
Yeah, and it's not the same. You come back here, and people don't understand. They see me, and they're like, they think I'm the same person that went over, and I'm not. I didn't come back the same person. I didn't come back.
But did they say that changed about you? What do you think changed about you, other than like paranoia? I mean, personality-wise, what changed about you?
Trust. I don't trust people like I used to.
Do you feel that has to do with going to war, or with your wife doing all that stuff while you were gone?
It was a combination of both. It was both, because I didn't have the family support from the people that I should have got it from. I got it more from strangers and friends and people that associates than I did from the immediate loved ones that should have been supporting me.
And that's why
while
you're
I
in
was
war.
over there.
While you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel like they didn't support you?
They didn't write, no packages, birthdays, nothing, It's things that were very important to the soldiers over there,
Mm-hmm.
And I was the morale sergeant, so I made sure everybody got whatever they could get from home and support from home, because we were out, and we didn't live like the soldiers are living now. They got the little trailers, the porta-johns, and no, when we went over, our bathroom was the ground.
You're the first ones out there.
Yeah, we were the first. First with boots on ground in Iraq.
Set it all up for the other ones.
Yeah, and we didn't get the homecoming yellow ribbon thing like that you see on TV, soldiers coming home, all that stuff. So a lot of us back then in 2003, when we were going through it, it was rough.
And not a lot of people agreed with the war. Did your family not agree with the war? Is that why they weren't supportive?
I come from a very Christian background. No, they did not agree with the war. They felt that I should have not gone. They didn't want me to go. But I joined the military knowing that one day I would wind up going to war. It's part of your training. That's what you learn in basic training, how to break that M16 down, how to put it back together, how to monitor. You live in the woods, you live in the field, you do all of that. And in learning all of that, I gave them 28 years of my life.
Right.
So
you have to do it. It was your duty.
It's my duty. 28 and 28 is 56. I'm 56 years old, so I've given them half of my life.
Long time.
You know, but it's just that I'm learning my triggers. I'm learning to deal with my triggers. I'm learning to come out of the depression.
So what are some of your triggers?
People being ignorant and intolerance, liars.
And that goes back to the trust.
Yeah.
That goes back to that.
And then, you know, when people are doing things to harm other people, it's not right, emotionally, mentally, or physically. It just stirs up something in me because I see abuse and I've been abused, so I know.
Do you become a rescuer when that happens, and you'll go off on the attacker?
I will. I can be in the supermarket and see somebody do something wrong to somebody, and I will say something.
Has there been an incident like that?
Yeah, it has.
What happened?
Somebody hit an elderly lady with a shopping cart. And I said, do you realize the word is excuse me? They were like, what? I said, you just bumped this lady. Oh, I didn't. I said, you just bumped her. The least you could do is say, excuse me. How ignorant are you? And then
Did you physically get into it after that?
No,
or it was
I
verbally?
kind of like calmed myself because the lady was still there. You know, and I think I looked at my eye, and she, you know, you could tell she had hearing aids in, and she didn't know. But this person was just being in a rush and just
rude.
Just,
How do you feel? Like, I don't see anything wrong with you sticking up for someone like that, though.
The thing is that you have to be mindful. My sticking up for someone may be different than yours because mine can go escalate to a...
You escalate to a different level.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I escalate to a very, very different level. That's why I tell people, you don't want to see me get angry.
Were you always a rescuer type? Like, you were never like that before? You just kind of let it go?
No, what it was, I try to make peace. I would let it go, but I wasn't a rescuer. I wasn't a, you know, like, what the heck are you doing? No, that changed.
No, do you hold grudges, like, in you from it? No? You just lose your mind?
I just let it go.
Okay.
And it's rough because I've had to let it go when people hear it in school.
So, when people are liars or harming other people, those are some of your triggers. Do you have any other triggers?
My health.
Your health?
Yeah. I am a disabled vet. And because of the injuries I sustained over there, I'm in pain every day. And being in pain every day and trying to function without taking all of the narcotics and the drugs they want me to take is hard. So some days I can barely get up out my bed because of the pain. I have permanent nerve damage, neuropathy in both legs, and I've had several operations on my hands and legs. And, you know, I've had major health issues, heart surgery, hysterectomy, all of this stuff. And a lot of the surgeries I've had stemmed from injuries I sustained while in the military. But when I went over to Iraq, I got exposed to uranium. It messed with my lungs. And then one day I couldn't get up out the bed. I was paralyzed because of the nerve agent. And they still wouldn't send me home. Because I told them if I came home, I'm going AWOL.
I could see when you talk about this, a lot of emotion comes up to your eyes.
Yeah, it's dealing with pain. Like this morning, I barely made it to this interview with you, this session with you, because I was in that much pain from last night. And it bothers me because I get the dropsies. Like I could pick up something and all of a sudden this pain is shooting, everything I've had is gone. So it makes it hard for me sometimes when I'm cooking or if I'm doing something, I have to call my partner to come in and help me because I'm afraid I'm going to drop it because I feel it. I'm starting to notice when it's going to come.
Right.
And they're saying that it's permanent. So, you know.
And it seems like you don't like that because you're young and at heart.
Right.
And you want to be capable of
You want
doing
to be
these things
capable of
you
doing
do.
something. Right.
And
I'm a doer.
It's holding you back.
It really is. A lot of pain, a lot of hardship sometimes. And you know, people say they don't understand and all this other stuff, but a lot of times when I go to my other group sessions, besides coming in this session with you, I go to my group sessions because we're all Iraqi and Afghanistan vets, wounded warriors, and we can understand and relate to one another. It's kind of hard when you have somebody that's a civilian, like your family and your loved ones. They think you're supposed to come back the same way, and you try, but you can't.
Yeah.
What happened was traumatic to me, you know, and I try to tell them that.
You put anyone in those kind of situations, you know. Have you ever tried to explain it in a way that might reach them better, like?
I've tried to, and I've tried to give them examples. Like I told my mom.
Like even like Sandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
that helped a couple of them understand. That's because of what they lost.
Right.
I said, so the stress of losing your house and all of that stuff, how does it make you feel? It's aggravating when you don't have to start all over, da, da, da. I said, so you have your stressor, but that's a post-traumatic stress. That's a stressful event. It's traumatic. I said I was in a war zone. I killed, picked up body parts. I fired my weapon. I did.
You've seen things people have never seen before.
It's hard. It's very hard. You don't forget the little ones. You don't forget the houses you go in and you fire your weapon and you hurt somebody or you kill somebody or somebody kill you and you know that you've taken a human life. It's
hard to put it in a compartment.
You can't put it. You can't pack it away.
No.
You gotta live with it. And you know, I hear people say to me all the time, "Well, you was in a war. You was fighting a war." Yeah, but it still was a human life.
Yeah, I think when people don't understand, and you know they've never been there, they don't know how to address it. So no, they're just like, "Well, you're in war, so just put it away." But
yeah,
that's not the way it is.
And it's not. It's not the way it is. It's not the way it's going to be.
Bank.
It is. It is.
Well, I think you're doing very well. I think you're really becoming self-aware of yourself and your triggers and things. And
therapy helps.
I think you're understanding who you are and what you went through and accepting that. And that's what this is all about, is understanding our lives. Mm-hmm. So I want to finish this therapy session with a big breath. Let it all out.
You're right.
Feel good? Right. And tell yourself, I am strong.
I'm strong.
I'm smart.
I'm smart.
And I'm important.
And I'm important. Thanks. Yeah, yeah.